It's sometimes referred to as WAI-ARIA, W-A-I, which basically stands for that Web Accessibility Initiative and Accessible Rich Internet Applications. It's a way to supplement semantic HTML value, provides more information to the screen readers, and it has rules, states, and properties. So basically, it provides a means to make web applications and widgets more accessible to a diverse range of users, including those who use assistive technologies like screen readers or even magnifiers. ARIA provides additional semantics to describe the role, state, and functionality of many familiar user interface controls, such as menus, sliders, trees, and dialogues. So it provides additional structural information, helping authors identify landmarks, like you were using those roles for, regions, grids on their pages. ARIA enables dynamic JavaScript-driven applications and widgets to interoperate with a variety of assistive technologies. So first I'll touch a little bit on the rules. The ARIA rules describe the structure of the page. They describe the type of widget presented. They do not make an element look or act any differently for people not using assistive technology. And they do not change the behaviors, states, and properties of the host element, but only the native role elements. Adding ARIA role overrides the native role semantics, so therefore using ARIA indirectly affects what is reported to a screen reader or other assistive tech. So basically you want to use ARIA roles only when the semantics you need don't currently exist. So here's some examples of the roles. So you can see like banner. There's not an HTML element called banner, so we can use that. As well as widgets like alerts and dialogues. There's really no current HTML to support those. And also things you probably use a lot are tabs. So you can see there they have tabs and tab lists. And sliders for like a media timeline scrubber or something like that. And then they have states and properties. So the states are used to provide the current state of the role or object. And all of those parameters are using the ARIA dash prefix. So here you can see in this example there's one called ARIA dash hidden, and it's true. So what that means is the screen reader will not read anything that's in there. And that right there is actually, it's a Font Awesome font icon. So I'll show a little bit more about that in a minute. So these rule states are usually updated through scripting and user action. Therefore, it could say false 1 minute, and then the user could do an interaction on the elements, and then it could change to true. So for that ARIA expanded, that would be something like a tab or an accordion container, where it's originally in a expanded false or a closed state, and then you may click on some trigger, and then it becomes true. So the screen reader will let the user know that this container is expanded, and now it's not. Here's some examples of some more of those different types of states. So we got labels, checked, unchecked, disabled, expanded. This is not a complete list by any means. So first, I'm going to go over 5 rules for using ARIA.
Can we go back
Sure.
to the slide? So, so with the labeled and labeled by, are they both required, or is it an either or?
I will get into the difference of those
later
in a little bit. Yeah, there is a difference though. Okay. Good question. Hold that up. Okay. So the 5 rules. First, don't use it if you don't have to. Really, it's only meant to be used if there's no other HTML means you can use it for. Hey, Raymond.
Hello.
Go ahead and pick up a area packet here and then take any of those free items that you want. That's our sponsor, O'Reilly, for today. My little graphics are a little off since this is coming through the Google casting here. But basically, you don't want to use area to repurpose an element and add an area, role, or state just to make it accessible. For instance, like if you have a button, actually use the button element, the button HTML, instead of trying to take a div and then adding the role of button to it. That's just because there's so many other features of just the native button element that you're going to have to program in. That it's going to make it a lot more work than just using the element that you could be using there. Basically, if you use a button, the keyboard focus and interactions come for free. So HTML automatically provides those visual cues and the default interactions. Links are always followed by pressing the enter key, and buttons are always acted upon by the space key. And you also get the information about these elements, like their current state, without needing to add area roles. So therefore, if you're using real checkboxes, you can already put checked on there. If you're using select, you can already put that it's required. So you don't need to add extra area on top of it. Just the HTML alone will be enough. And again, you don't want to change the native semantics. So look for any other way, including just using the real native element. Another thing, you don't want to use the role presentation or the area hidden true on a visible focusable element. So if the mouse users can focus on it and get to it, but the screen readers can't, that's not a good thing. The redundancy does not make it more accessible, so you don't want to add area to any HTML elements that already have an implied role. So you want to combine things like the alt and the title and the area label and labeled by. So for instance, you have the label and the input there at the bottom. So they're trying to say that the area label equals first name on the input. Well, yes it does, but you already have the label right above it that says first name. So the screen reader is going to get that information twice, and it's just going to be a lot more verbiage and just a lot more time spent for that screen reader user. It's just redundancy. So it's going to say that twice. It's going to say it 3 times actually, because now you have an alt on there as well. So it's going to repeat that information so many times. And then lastly, make the area controls that you do create keyboard friendly. Alright, so let's get into some practical uses for area now that we've said what not to do. So there's lots of easy ways to start using area today. For instance, we've got this Font Awesome, and I just found out that they have new accessibility icons, which are pretty cool. But there's also been a lot of talk in the accessibility community about how actually inaccessible the icon fonts can be. But you can help the accessibility of them by using an area role. Now this is what I see most commonly used for Font Awesome. You'll have an icon that's a link, and so they'll just throw the I tag in there, and then your icon shows up using the pseudo CSS element, and that causes a few different issues. And one way to fix it is by adding that area hidden true to the element that you're putting the icon on. That way screen readers will just ignore that element and won't read anything. Some screen readers actually read the content that's in that CSS pseudo element, and since it's an icon, since it's a font, it's a lot of times like just gibberish. Sometimes it's like a number, sometimes it's an emoji that has nothing to do with what the actual icon looks like. So that way, it just won't read that at all. And then also, you'd want to include some text inside of the link or button that's, so the screen reader has something to pick up on and read instead of that gibberish icon. And you can also hide that using, that's the Bootstrap class to hide it, SR-only for screen reader only. That'll just move that content off screen so you don't see it, but that will be spoken then for the screen reader. Questions about that? Okay. Here's another one that's pretty cool to use. It's alert. So you can put the role of alert on a div and then this area-live. In the area live, basically what it does is it listens to this whole element, and if anything updates in it dynamically, it will alert the screen reader user. It will speak the update that's in that box. So there's a couple different states you can put in there. There's polite, there's assertive, and there's off, so you don't get a notification. The polite notifies the user of the text once they are done doing their current task. So if the screen reader is talking and saying something else, it'll wait till that's done, and then it will announce this new alert. But the assertive one will announce the task to the user immediately. And actually Twitter is using this. They are using the assertive. And so basically, even if I'm on a different tab and I'm listening to the screen reader, I will hear that I just got a new tweet, like constantly. So is it good? Is it bad? You have to really be careful about using the area live assertive. Because if you've got too many alerts coming up there, it could get annoying. And they might just end up closing your site or closing the page. But if it's something really important, yeah, the assertive could be a powerful tool. Maybe if you do use assertive, you could provide a mechanism for the user to turn it off. And maybe they could change it to polite with a button or something. But yeah, you can see there that a visual user can see when you get a new tweet because it updates it in the tab. So it's kind of like a quiet, polite, more message for them, but then the screen reader gets it no matter what.
Oh, you got 5 tweets in between the two screens.
Yep. Okay, another awesome use for ARIA is modal windows. Now, I had meant to actually go out to the site here and look at this code with you guys, but my computer isn't plugged up on the screen, so...
If you used Chrome, the browser, you could cast the...
Yeah, but I was going to look at the code, pull up the Firebug or the inspect tool, and take a look at that with you.
Which you could do on your Chrome on Lenovo, but not on your phone.
Yeah. Can I cast with this?
With your Lenovo cast, yeah.
As long as you're using the Chrome browser, I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be the Chrome browser.
Okay.
Chrome browser, and especially if you're using Chrome browser, it's 49. If you're fully up to date on Chrome, then in your menu bar, on menu options, you should be